right, John, we are here for another arcade section, our final arcade section for this whole experiment of going through top tens, where we went from, we had the 80s, we had the 90s, and now we're at the 2000s to modern because arcade's kind of slow. But last time we had a guest with Thorgy's Arcade. This week, we got Baberuthless, fighting game extraordinaire, knows those backgrounds, knows the Neo Geo. She is a very learned guest, and I think a perfect choice for not only our arcade systems, but I decided to be. People have been asking for Neo Geo. I had people asking like, you should have individual arcade board top tens. Like that's not feasible. So I decided to just go for it and have just Neo Geo in its entirety, whether it's the MVS, the home system AES, the Pocket Color, or even the Hyper Neo Geo 64. So, Baberuthless, thank you for being here. And what is your familiarity? You were talking about this before we started, but what is your familiarity? We're going to start with the Neo Geo. So let's start with Neo Geo and all those systems.
Yeah, and forgive me if I'm repeating myself a little bit, but I actually, like, personally with the Neo Geo systems, that's something as an adult I really came back to, basically, because growing up, I kind of grew up past that main 90s fighting game arcade booming scene, but it's such a fascinating time period to kind of just learn about and talk about. And so as an adult, I actually ended up going back and like playing all these games, like learning how to kind of emulate some of them, and then also picking up some arcade machines in the process. And so that's become a whole like just black hole where I'm just like throwing my money at it and trying to constantly like tweak something here and there. But yeah, Neo Geo, it's something that I feel like hasn't been super exposed to Western audiences before. And so really excited to talk about some of these games and kind of maybe potentially introduce them to a new audience, or if you're very familiar with it, maybe just put in a little bit of knowledge there that you didn't already know. So yeah, thank you so much for having me on.
Absolutely. And John, what's your history with Neo Geo? I'm actually not too familiar how much you know about the SNK side of things.
Pretty vague. So I played a chunk of them. They're all pretty readily available because of like Arcade Archives.
Arcade Archives is a godsend if you want to get into these old games.
Yeah. I've got a Neo Geo Pocket Color. That's my only Neo Geo system. I've wanted to own a proper Neo Geo console for God knows how long, but unlike, well, retro consoles are already pretty expensive, but Neo Geo ones are just another level. So that's always escaped my grasp. But I've played. I feel like I've played the essentials, but not really the gems of Neo Geo.
That's probably a good way to break it down for me too. Like I didn't really know about the Neo Geo. I've spoken before how there really weren't arcades around me, so I barely saw Street Fighter, so there was no chance in hell of me seeing King of Fighters or Fatal Fury anywhere. That was just a thing I somehow learned later about, just because through magazines and people talking about it, and eventually just finding interest with the fighting game community and seeing what they talk about and getting an idea of that. But SNK is more than fighting games. They've done a lot of different ones. In fact, probably the first one I became familiar with was Metal Slug. And it was just first time I saw Metal Slug, I was just blown away. It was like those sprites. It's like, holy, just that's possible.
That's why I played before any SNK fighting games. Like Metal Slug was just my my first. That's how I knew what SNK was in the first place.
Yeah, there is definitely a lot of fighting games on these consoles, and that's obviously that's I feel like what they're most well known for nowadays. But there's a lot of interesting picks as well. Like I feel like John, you were talking about the Pocket earlier, and with the Pocket, it's funny because everyone thinks that like there were mostly just fighting games on that system, right? I feel like that's the commonly said thing that I see online. But actually, do you guys want to take a guess at what genre had the most amount of games for the Neo Geo Pocket?
I'm gonna go puzzle.
Okay, Puzzle's a good shout. Yeah, there's an exclusive Puyo, I believe, for the Neo Geo Pocket Color. There's a lot.
You're gonna go puzzle too.
Yeah, puzzle's a good shout. I was gonna say platformers as well, because there's quite a few really good platformers on the Pocket Color as well. including Sonic, which I think is
Yeah.
probably going to make some kind of appearance because Sonic always does.
Our fans do love Sonic.
Yeah. I'll see platformer to mix it up then.
Okay. All right. No, those are both really good guesses, but I actually pretty sure it's pachinko games, like gambling games.
Of course. Of course it's pachinko, which is ironic because from my understanding, the Pocket Color was successful. It was one of the few things of SNK in the 2000s making them money, but they shut it down for pachinko games and that whole
Yeah, exactly. Like Aruze, which like basically was the company that owned them after they went bankrupt, was like, let's get as many pachinko games here as possible because this is clearly our priority right now and not actual fighting games. But yeah, so pachinko games are number one, but obviously that's not the thing that people remember because I'm pretty sure none of those games are going to be on this list whatsoever. And Neo Geo Pocket Color was just like very badly advertised too, so probably didn't help.
Can you imagine if it's just the top 10 of pachinko games now? It's not impossible.
Oh God, I question our audience at that point.
By the way, the stick on the Neo Geo Pocket Color is so nice. It's just so clicky. You can't play that.
I've
under
never
the
held
bed
one
sheets.
before.
No, you can't hide that from your mum under the bed sheets because she'll just hear constant clicking everywhere.
Yeah, super cool stick, very smooth. It like in a lot of ways, it was way better for fighting games than like something like a Game Boy at the time.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
that makes sense. I can't even imagine. I know there were fighting games on the Game Boy. I can't imagine playing any of them.
Oh no, yeah.
But Pocket Color certainly found a style that works for the Pocket Color. Like it's amazing how well that sort of chibi art style has just done for them at the time. It just got a lot of the same feeling of that. But with that said, let's go ahead and get into our top 10 Neo Geo games. Again, this is across all Neo Geo. I just put it all into one, which turns out to be the right choice because even though it's this around all those systems, we had 113 votes total, one of our lowest. So there's just not familiarity there. People can come back to it thanks to the arcade archive stuff. But despite that, we did get a good variety with 122 different games. So quite a range here to enjoy. But let's get started right off the bat. Kylan, John, what is our number 10 Neo Geo game of all time?
Lead us, Kylan. I'm afraid. Lead us.
I don't know. I feel like this is so hard just because you were mentioning like there's like 100 some games that we're talking about here, and then there are 100 some votes. So very feasibly, like each person voted for like different games, and there, statistically, I know that's probably not the case because there's ones that people definitely remember. But I'm just kind of gonna go for Hail Mary here because I think if it's not here, then there's no way that any other Neo Geo 64 game is going to be on this list. So I'm going to say Bariki 1.
Okay. That's an interesting pool. Only again, thank you, Thorgy, for actually for allowing me to know what the hell that actually is.
Really interesting game.
What about you, John?
I'll go with the headliner for the Pocket Color being SNK versus Capcom Match of the Millennium.
That's good. I had that as my next pick, but we'll see.
All right. Got those locked in. At number 10, it is neither of those games. Instead, for number 10, Real Bout Fatal Fury 2, The Newcomers. Speaking about not Hail Marys, but Blue Marys.
Oh, interesting. I actually did not I don't know why I did not expect that to be on this list. I kind of had that as like maybe that's like a honorable mention type game, but I know that it's a more popular game in the competitive scene along with I think 2 Special and then also Mark of the Wolves, which I'd be shocked if that wasn't on.
That's got to be so much higher. Yeah.
That's going to be way down there. So
yeah.
But yeah.
I'm not too familiar with Fatal Fury 2. I know this is like when they finally introduced 2 new characters. It didn't move a storyline too far ahead. But they were really starting to iron things out for Fatal Fury in terms of that. I was actually kind of surprised to see this one here too. Wasn't sure how much representation Fatal Fury would get, but from everything I hear, it's a good game.
Yeah, sorry. John, did you have
No,
something
no,
to say?
you go ahead.
Oh, okay.
You go
I was
ahead.
gonna say it's kind of like a retelling slash also continuation of the first two Fatal Fury games. And there is, to your point, Derek, I think there are definitely some new characters there. I think they actually tried to introduce like a new protagonist to the series, which I don't even remember his name, so that should tell you how well that went. But he's like some sort of like airplane pilot type
Oh yeah, because
character.
he was going to be like the headliner. He did previewing because he's the headliner of the next game. But I
Yeah.
completely forget his name. All I remember is that this is the game that introduced Lau, who became this he was
Hmm.
just a split second. He got punched out kind of character, and now he just starts showing up everywhere in SNK title, Fatal Fury.
Hmm.
Like he's part of Janae's crew now
Right.
and City of the Wolves. But yeah, I'd say pretty solid choice. Kind of gives you a baseline for what we're looking for. That got 137 points. And just to show how close it was beat out number 11, which had 135 points. However,
Ooh.
the jump to
Okay.
the next game is significantly higher, as it's about 59 points difference, 59 points more than
Okay.
about Fatal Fury 2. So,
Hmm.
Kylan, John, what is our number 9 Neo Geo game of all time?
I'll go for a game that I would like to be higher, but I think maybe doesn't get associated with Neo Geo in quite the same way. That's Windjammers.
Okay. I had that higher. I had that higher up on my list just
Hmm.
because I feel like whenever I talk to people, they're always like, "Yeah, Windjammers," and then they forget that it's actually on the Neo Geo. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
but so for my I know I said before I was like, oh, I think it's probably SVC. I'm gonna stick to my guns. I'm gonna say it's SVC Match of the Millennium.
Nice,
Okay.
nice.
Good choice. Good choice. At number 9, John, you're not close, but you at least went away from the fighting game genre, which this is not a fighting game. It's the original Metal Slug.
Oh.
Oh, okay, the original one.
Yeah, the
Mm.
very first Metal Slug released on the MVS system, and I don't think this had the full 4 characters yet. I don't think Theo, for example, was even in this one. For example, to be honest, a lot of the Metal Slug games kind of blend together because I played it via the anthology on I think it was
Yeah, same
PS2.
Yeah,
here.
same.
So I just played them back to back to back.
Yeah. Yeah, and it is still good, right?
Yeah.
I feel like, I guess kinda like what you're saying, future games kinda supplant it. But I suppose Metal Slug is one of the more known series, so there's probably a few lists that just got sort of filled it with Metal Slug games. Um,
For
but yeah,
sure.
it's still a really good one, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I similarly also get them kind of confused because I also play them back to back to back. But I know like the main ones that people usually talk about are like 2 and 3. So
Mm.
curious if like there's is there one that the fandom likes the most compared to some of the like compared to 1? Is like one that's like really popular up there as well? I'm just curious like what the fandom generally likes for Metal Slug.
I feel like
Mhm.
3 is usually the one that, runs away with it, right?
That from my understanding, yeah, I hear about that and 2 the most, like both of you.
Mm.
Chad here is saying that it was just Marco and Tarma in the original game, and
That's right.
Theo and Eri weren't introduced
Mm,
until 2,
mhm.
which makes sense because it's the foursome. You always see that foursome, even down to Metal Slug Tactics that just came out. You know those characters,
Mm.
but yeah, I don't I other than just gorgeous visuals, I don't, and the fact that you had the Metal Slug tank, I don't really know what the original brings to it, but I remember having fun when I played it. It just, I
Yeah.
don't think it stands out compared to later ones. Still a great game though.
Yeah.
There's a
I mean, I
reason
I
to
was
give
always a
series.
big fan of Contra growing up, and it's kind of an evolution of Contra, just way more beautiful, and that made it stand out a ton.
Yeah,
For sure.
absolutely. All right, let's move on to our number 8 game of all Neo Geo game of all time, beating out Metal Slug by 9 points. Excuse me,
Oh.
6 points. Hold on, 7 points. I can't count.
Okay. Just because I feel like these are so close to each other that they probably voted for them at the same time, or like, like the same people that voted for the last game are going to vote for this one. I'm going to say Metal Slug 2.
Yeah, that's a good shout. I'm gonna go with Sonic the Hedgehog Pocket Adventure. So I feel like it's lurking here somewhere.
it's somewhere around
The
here.
Sonic fans are here.
He's coming out. All right, at number 8, Kylan, you are correct in that it's a 2.
Oh, okay.
But not Metal Slug. It's The Last Blade 2. Sorry, I play with your hearts. The Last Blade 2 at number 8.
Okay.
Man, this is a series I want to
game.
try because everybody talks about it. Like, this seems like one of the more premier fighting games from SNK.
Yeah, it's a very good game. It's so basically story-wise, it actually takes place a few hundred years after the Samurai Showdown series. And it's interesting because a lot of the story is actually packed into this, like I did a video of this. It's packed into a manhwa that's like Derrick, you'll know what this is. That's like a Five Below exclusive physical print of all things. So yeah, I learned a lot about the lore of The Last Blade actually through that comic book series, which is funny, but amazing sprite work. There's really cool stages in there. Like there's a lot of stages that are very atmospheric where there's no there's one stage where there's you're in a burning building and there's no stage music. You just hear the sound effects of the crackling fire and like things falling in the background as this building around you is literally on fire. But yeah, this seems to be like a very fan favorite game for sure. And it's the game that Hibiki is from, actually. She went on to be in a lot of other games.
I knew there was one character that kind of stood out more so than the others from Last Blade. I forget which one it was, but yeah, as soon as you said it, Hibiki is like the big standout there. I think she made it into a KOF, right?
She's in Capcom versus SNK, and I don't remember KOF, but I wouldn't be surprised. I'm sure she's in one of them.
Somewhere around there.
Yeah.
Again, fighting. I've heard good things about this one. I've just not had a chance to play it, chance to try it out. But I'm assuming it's the same for you, John.
It's a blind spot for me. Yeah, I want to fulfill it though. It sounds cool, especially that stage without music. So that's super uncommon for that era.
Oh yeah,
super cool.
Don't see that often. Let's go ahead and move on to our number 7 Neo Geo game of all time, beating out Last Blade 2 by 5 points. It was really close among a lot of these.
I don't know what. I'm like, should I go with I feel like we've talked so much about different fighting games that I kind of want to go in a different route now. So I'm gonna pick one of John's earlier picks. I'm gonna say Windjammers.
Okay.
I was kind of thinking Windjammers as well, but I don't want to double down on Windjammers.
I mean, nothing's stopping you.
True. I'll go. So we'll have some King of Fighters here. 98's probably going to be up here. Higher up though. So maybe 97.
Both are popular. I think 98's slightly more popular from my understanding, but they both might be on here. Who knows?
Yeah. Awesome. So let's go 97 for this one then.
All right, sounds good. At number 7, John, you are right that it's a King of Fighters. Wrong year. The King of Fighters 2002.
Oh, whoa, okay.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah. So this is our second dream match, basically combining all the characters from our second storyline. No story actually here. Just toss in all the characters, have fun. They love to do that with these KOFs at times, and I like to have story, but it is cool to have all the characters.
Yeah, this pick is interesting to me because I feel like when people vote for KOF 2002, they're actually thinking about 2002 Unlimited Match. Maybe I'm overthinking it a little bit.
It is possible. I think later releases probably do influence to some degree. We've seen that in the past.
But yeah, I've played this game. Unlimited Match is mostly the one I have reference for, in all honesty. So when I'm talking about this, I may be talking specifically about Unlimited Match, but it has, from what I remember about it, like basically an insane roster. It's one of the ones that's still competitively played, and then has one of the best soundtracks, actually, I think, in my opinion, KOF history, because you have composers that are really just experimenting a lot with the types of genre of the music and just kind of like doing whatever they want. But yeah, that's honestly like my main reference for this particular game.
Mm-hmm. I had my journey of going through a bunch of the KOFs, and I had to step away from it for a bit, but I made my way from 94 to 99. So I just missed out on reaching 2002. I was getting there, but I did play. I was beating all the arcade modes for all the teams on my way up there. But that's a lot of games. I had to take a break.
Yeah, every single year, pretty much up until that point.
Crazy how they were just cranking them out constantly like that.
Yeah. I did a very similar thing where every month or so I'll go through like a retro game and I'll lab every single character, like in every single, well, just to because it's good for me to know those types of things. I'm sure there's like a ton that I'm forgetting, because it's not possible to cram all that knowledge in your head. But I remember specifically I did it for 02 Unlimited Match, and I remember by the end I was just like, oh my God, take me out of my misery. Like, there are just so many characters that I had to play through. I was on this game, I think, like normally I spend a month on it. Like, I think I was on this game for like months. So that's what I mainly remember about this game. So take that for what you will.
Oh, that's pretty great. But yeah, I figured the two that were the dream matches had the best chance of being on here, just because they are the biggest rosters. They're the ones that are still played. So yeah, 2002 being here makes complete sense to me. But let's go ahead and move on to number 6 for our top 10 Neo Geo games of all time, beating out the King of Fighters 2002 by 19 points.
Ooh, okay.
29 points. Either way, close enough. I can't math today. I apologize.
Okay, so my logic is like, if KOF 2002 is on here, that I don't think the other two KOF games, 97 and 98, are going to be on here. So I think those guys are eliminated. But I'm just like, so by process of elimination, I'm like, Mark of the Wolves, Metal Slug 2 probably, or 3, and then okay, I'm gonna go with my my third pick, Samurai Showdown 2.
All right.
Okay, all very good choices.
I love hearing the thought processes, by the way, especially when we get guests, because they try to squeak it out when John's kind of used to the tricks, the styles of our
I'm
audience.
so frequently punished on this. Yeah. Well, I'm going to bring back one of the eliminated games. I think there's a chance there's still a King of Fighters here. So I'm going to say 98. And if 98 isn't here, I'll stop guessing King of Fighters. Okay. But I feel like there's still a chance.
Okay.
At number 6, you guys were just a little ahead of the game. Windjammers.
Oh man.
Oh man. Okay.
Oh, I love Windjammers. It's so simple. I didn't discover this until like the Switch port, or the PS4 port, like 5 years or whatever it was ago. It's just air hockey, really. You're just picking up a disc, throwing at the other person using special moves. But there's something so simple and cool about it. I remember at MCM Comic-Con, which is a London convention, I was just sitting in a hall with a few friends, and we popped up the Switch with Windjammers, and a few people came over, and they're queuing up to sort of play against us, like just handing them a Joy-Con and playing. So that was a really cool moment. So I've not really had just strangers come up and take a Joy-Con from me before. So that was kind of rad.
With the Switch port, all right, I haven't played this port, so full disclosure, are there motion controls at all, or is it just the buttons?
I don't remember if there are. I've only ever played with buttons. Maybe there are.
I think that would be really cool if that was, but yeah, it would definitely be extra work to do that. Yeah, it's interesting. I didn't really play this game until much later in life, and so I remember the first time I played this game, I was thinking like, oh, Windjammers, like there's gonna be like so many beach theme stages. Like we're gonna get like a beach stage, and then we're gonna get like, I don't know, an outdoors field stage, or like I just had all these ideas on what these environments would look like, just because you hear Windjammers and you think it's like very artsy and nature focused, but there was like one beach stage from what I remember, and then the rest of them were just like, they look like tennis courts basically. I was a little bit disappointed by that, but it's a very fun, frantic game. But yeah, I just remember thinking that and being like, oh dang, missed opportunity.
I have still not tried Windjammers. I've seen it played, and you know, it was kind of a big deal when Windjammers 2 was coming out, and they like definitely promoting that as much as possible. And Windjammers 2 seems to be have kept a lot of the arcade fun of the original Windjammers. It's something I want to try out. I just blind spot. Sometimes you just miss out on that game despite hearing about it. And it definitely seems like the pure pick up and play fun that maybe fighting games don't always have. It's easy, like, I know how to play Pong essentially. We can do this.
Yeah, it's funny you say that, because people sometimes call this game a fighting game, but it's definitely not a fighting game. Definitely not.
It's like how John calls Mario Tennis Aces a fighting game.
Maybe a bit more than this one is.
Okay. All right. Well, we've reached our top 5 Neo Geo games. Competition is picking up, sure. This is beat out Windjammers. Our number 5 beat out Windjammers by 52 points. So, what is our number 5 game of all time for Neo Geo?
52 points is quite a lot. Like so far, it's been like 10 or 20, hasn't it?
There's only been like one major gap from 10 to 9. So this is our first major jump since our 9 to 6 block.
Yeah.
It's getting hard now, because I kept throwing out picks that I thought were gonna come like further down, and then they ended up being all earlier on in the list. So am I allowed to repeat things?
Oh yeah, you can choose whatever you want. You can go based on the list you made ahead of time. If you did that, you can go off the fly.
Okay. You know what? I'm gonna throw it out here just because it was recently re-released. SPC Chaos. So I feel like it's more in like the what's the word? Like it's more in the public consciousness just because it came out. Again,
that does tend to help a lot. The games that got re-released more recently definitely helps. Although it's a weird thing with, again, Arcade Archives keeping all these games kind of alive based on if you want to check them out. It's an interesting thing.
Yeah. I feel like there aren't that many choices left, and there's still a lot of the big fighting games to come up. So I'll say Metal Slug 3 here, and if it is, then I think we've just kind of got fighting games left.
Okay. All right. At number 5, Metal Slug 2/X.
Oh, this would be way higher up. I don't know why. Guess I was wrong.
It happens. But yeah, Metal Slug 2, I definitely just bigger, better sequel. In fact, it's the only one that got a re-release too, like an updated version with X, and I forget what X added to it.
They changed some glitches. I know they did some performance improvements as well, because like I remember sometimes it would really slow down at like certain periods on the screen, and then they kind of fixed that so that it was better in X. And I believe they changed some of the stages, like I think the first stage is a desert stage, and then they changed it from day to night or something like that. I might be misremembering that. But yeah, I mean, it doesn't surprise me that it's on this list. I thought it would be higher up, honestly. But I mean, it's an awesome game. I love the Metal Slug series.
Yeah. I feel that there's such a big gap in quality with this one compared to the first. The first is great; it set the foundation. But I think there's a personality and charm to 2 and 3 that just kind of grew afterwards. And yeah, I still kind of think 3 is here. You know, we haven't got that many more spaces left, but it'd be weird to have 1 and 2 and then skip 3 out. So I think there's still a chance this is going to come up pretty soon.
That's Entirely possible. We'll have to see.
Mm.
But yeah, I remember this one just being a lot of fun. I didn't realize X was just a modified 2 for the longest time. I just like, oh, I don't know where X fits in, but sure, that works out. I'm looking at what it actually introduced, and it's basically just like some of the guys that you can rescue can help out in other ways. Like some guy starts throwing out Hadokens, and there's another one that carries like supplies all over the place that you might be able to pick up, and they have the ability to get fat if they have too much food, that sort of thing.
Interesting.
Yeah, that's different. But anyway, that is our number 5 Neo Geo game of all time. Let's find out what our number 4 is, which beat Metal Slug 2/X by 20 points.
I think it's just 3. I think it's just 3 following 2.
Yeah, it's hard for me to imagine that 3 is not on here in some way. I don't want to like cop the same answer. You know what? I'm gonna go with a different genre of pick. Maybe one that we haven't seen yet. Puzzle Bobble.
Oh, good choice.
Yeah, which I feel like was more popular in Japan, but I don't know. Maybe with your audience, like this is a top.
I think if you play Puzzle Bobble, you really enjoy Puzzle Bobble.
Mhm.
I wonder how many people realize that Puzzle Bobble came out on SNK, since it's not made by SNK. Like, who knows?
Right. Well, I don't know how much of your audience played like Windjammers authentic.
Yeah, you're kind of coming in hard, like it's a bit of a handicap here for you, but I like the thinking, Kylan. Not quite right though, because at number 4, out of nowhere, I would have never predicted this one. Neo Turf Masters, a golfing game. I think I'd have to double check on this, but this might, John, be our first sports game to make a top 10.
I think it might be. I can't think of any other ones.
Yeah, I can't either. So yeah, our first sports game is Neo Turf Masters, which I don't know if I know a lot about.
I played it once just for that because I have the NVSX like arcade machine. So I remember I was just like going through one day and I was like, oh, there's a golf game here. I'll give it a shot. I mentioned this earlier, I think, or maybe not. I originally thought like, oh, maybe it's like number 10 or something, but definitely no higher than number 10. Like if it's not number 10, then I don't think it's on this list at all. So I am really shocked to see it this high up. Maybe it's just because I don't understand the context around like when this game came out. But from what I remember, like it's a really good golf game, but I don't think it does anything crazy that other golf games haven't done. But yeah, that's a wild pick. Not one I would have expected.
We're being called out, by the way. There are sports games on this list with
right.
Wii Sports, Wii Sports Resort.
Okay, sure. That feels more like mini games to me, but that's fair. That's fair. I don't. It's like actual sports game, even though it's arcadey as all get out.
Yeah, but there's an arcade flair to Neo Turf Masters as well.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah,
and I didn't realize this, but apparently it's the same team as Metal Slug. It's their first game before they made Metal Slug.
Oh,
back in '96.
Oh,
interesting. Yeah, I from what I remember, this game also has very good music, like very kind of like catchy sort of music. But yeah, I literally think I only played one level. I got like a double bogey, and then I was like, I'm out.
Oh man, I don't think I realized this. Unless Wikipedia has it wrong, Nishiyama himself worked on Neo Turf Masters.
Oh wow, there are like some big names associated with this game that I never would have expected.
Yeah, that's crazy, but cool to see. I don't expect to see a ton of sports games on these lists, but it's cool to see when they break through and which ones they might be, because Tony Hawk did not break through, but damn it, Neo Turf Masters did.
How much influence did the We Shop Wednesday song have on this?
That's a good question. Was it featured on there? I don't know.
I'm pretty sure it was.
Oh, goodness. But yeah, there's our number 4 Neo Geo game of all time. Let's go ahead and get to our top 3. And our number 3 beat out Turf Masters by 45 points. So a little bit of a jump.
Yeah.
It's getting so hard now because I'm like, it's really only a couple of games that I think it could be, but I'm just like, in what order do I put them in?
Well, talk through your process. Like, what are you thinking of right now? What games do you think stand a chance?
So I think for sure it hasn't been up here yet, but SVC Match of the Millennium has to be up here. Like, there's no way it's not on here. And then Mark of the Wolves, I feel like, is the most well-known game for the Neo Geo systems personally. So I know for a fact that one also has to be on here. But we're number 3, right?
Yes.
So
Yeah,
then
so not many choices.
So then I'm just kind of like, oh man, what is the third game on this list? Because I have my first top 2 choices, I think, already ironed out. But I don't know what that third choice could be, man. That's the thing that's killing me right now.
Well, I don't want to say Metal Slug 3 for the 3rd time in a row, but I feel like Mark of the Wolves is going to be higher than it.
I think so too. So
yeah, so I'm going to say Metal Slug 3 again.
okay, I think that's a pretty good bet because I feel like 3 is really popular. God. You know what? I'm gonna go off of what you said earlier. I think maybe your audience has like they love Sonic. Let's go with the Sonic Neo Geo Pocket game.
He always appears somewhere.
Always popping in where you least expect it. But at number 3, John, you got it right. Metal Slug 3.
If you keep saying something, eventually it becomes true.
The stop clock is right once a day type thing.
Which one was it that you just kept predicting and then it never appeared or something like that?
There's multiple of them. I've been saying GTA on like every system that has it, and that never happened. Until the 360.
Until the 360.
But no, Metal Slug 3 is, I think this is just hands down the most known one. I had a PS2 standalone release of this. I think I played this before the anthology, and that was my first Metal Slug exposure. And it was just so gripping. It's so beautiful. I don't think I played a sprite game that looked this good before Metal Slug 3. Just like a great gateway to SNK, and it looks great. It sounds great. Plays great. I think it's just if you're to start playing Metal Slug, I think this is the one that I'd recommend you start with.
Got it. Is this the one where they have people like turning into the different creatures and stuff like that? I'm like forgetting what they are, but like, are they Yetis or something like that?
Maybe the Yetis.
That one.
Or something. I feel like they turn into something. But...
yeah, they turn into something. Yeah, I don't remember the Yetis or one.
Yeah, just like all of my Metal Slug, like 1 through 3, just kind of like starts to slide into one another. So I'm like, I think this is the one that happens in.
Looking at Wikipedia, just so I can actually tell the differences between them. This one, the big thing it seems to add is that it has multiple paths. They eventually lead to the same boss battle, but your way getting there will have more or fewer POWs to rescue, different equipment, that sort of thing.
Our live audience says this is the one with zombies, crabs, yetis, aliens, and clones.
Interesting.
I love how Metal Slug always starts out. It's like, oh, you're just fighting army guys, and by the end, it's aliens. It's just
crazy.
Never know what you're in for at that one, but yeah, I think it's it makes sense. You all said that like 3 was the most popular one, and yeah, it appropriate enough got up to that number 3 slot, like really high up there. People really appreciate that.
Yeah,
we could use another Metal Slug collection. Honestly, wouldn't mind seeing that again.
Yeah.
That was a good pick, though. I was like, Hail Mary, like Sonic. I was like, there's no way it's gonna be this, but I don't want to pick the same thing again.
With our audience, it's not like out of the question, but it was actually a pretty fair guess.
I appreciate you saying that. You're making me feel better.
And Sonic was good on the Neo Geo Pocket Color, but I don't know how many people actually own a Neo Geo Pocket Color. That's the other thing. Whereas a lot of these fighting games have kind of lived on, past their original systems. Whereas Sonic's very much stuck on it.
For sure. At least this particular version.
Yeah. All right. Our number 2 Neo Geo game of all time, beating out Metal Slug 3 by 60 points.
Okay.
So are we thinking Mark of the Wolves is number 1?
That's my guess. So then the only one, I don't know. Maybe I keep overthinking like SVC Match of the Millennium. Maybe I'm like
Yeah.
overhyping it in my mind because I played a ton of that game when I was a kid.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like I'd put it up there pretty high.
Okay. I'm like, maybe it's less popular than I thought. But all right, I'm going to go
Maybe.
with that for number 2, Match of the Millennium. Maybe I'll
It's a
keep
good
guessing
shout.
again and it'll be one of them, right?
Yeah. I don't know if it's missed the list or not, but I feel like, as live audience is saying right now, King of Fighters 98. Though I don't think it's missed its chance. And this tends to be just one of the more famous ones. So I'm gonna I'll stick with King of Fighters 98 for this one.
Okay. Yeah, that's a good choice too.
At number 2, the King of Fighters 98.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh man, that makes me sad because then I don't think there's no way like Match of the Millennium I don't think is more popular.
Could be number 1 with no Mark of the
Wolves. Mark of the Wolves was just forgotten about. It's like, all right, that was a thing. 98 is just great as a culmination of 94 to 97 at that point, having all the characters in there. It is purely about the fighting. Again, you can get endings, but you just get artwork, I think, from doing it. But it's the way it all works and all the different systems available. It's just a really good time. I didn't spend a whole lot of time with it just because I was more interested in getting story-based stuff. But man, I just played around a little bit with my typical team and just so much fun. It really does stand out. It's just a highlight.
Oh, who's your team in this game?
My team tends to be Yuri, Mai, and oh gosh, I'm blanking. It's been a while since I'm blanking my third one. I think my third was why am I blanking my third one? I'm sorry.
No, all good. Is another like, girl character?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's another one just because I tend to like the fast girl characters, and Yuri's my top one though. But I wanted to like Blue Mary more. I wanted to like King more, but I just didn't quite click with them in the same way. They both of them sort of matched what I typically go for as far as fighting game characters. I think I also enjoyed Andy of all things. Like everybody gives Andy crap, but I kind of liked playing Andy.
Oh, nothing wrong with Andy. I mean, he's one of the original Fatal Fury characters.
Minetta, thank you. Athena. It was Athena. I blanked on Athena.
I love Athena. She's super cute. I also tend to pick the waifu characters. Like don't read too much into that, but like I love like Chun-Li, like Athena. Like I like King a lot too because I think she's really cool, but she's not like a waifu character. Yeah, this game, like kind of like what you were referring to, there's so many different like fighting styles, and so you could play the same teams, right? You could play like the same characters, like your team versus their team, but it could be entirely different just because you guys had different like mechanical fighting styles in place. So like the way you played could be completely different. And there were a lot of updated versions of this particular game. I remember it's another like game that I think got an unlimited match update as well. But yeah, this game was really cool. I remember in King of Fighters 97, there were a lot of stages and like that didn't have music. And so this game, when I played it, I was like, oh, thank God it's back. Like, thank God they put this back in.
I enjoyed 97, but where was the music?
Yeah, it was really funny because like, do you remember in 97, there's this one stage where it's like some sort of stage or like rave. There's some sort of rave going on. I think there's like a disco ball or something at the top. And I remember when I first played through 97, there was like no music, right? You just hear the sound of the crowd cheering. And not to get too much on a tangent about another game, but I remember like first round I didn't hear any music. I was like, okay, like I get it because this is a rave. They're like hyping it up. They're like, we're about to hear the drop. The beat is gonna drop so hard in the second round, like it's gonna be amazing. And then I remember getting in the second round, I was like, oh, okay, this isn't happening. Like,
it's not that fancy.
No, it really wasn't that. Like, I was way overthinking it. So to see music kind of come back more fully in 98, I was like, oh, thank God. We're not like sticking with that.
Fair enough. Have you had a chance to play this one, John?
I have, yeah. When Terry got into Smash, this was the I picked this up physically because a lot of the King of Fighters and Fatal Fury games only owned digital versions of. So I wanted to own like a physical copy for every character that's in Smash, and Terry was like the only one that I didn't own one for. So I imported this for PS2 because I don't think it released in Europe. So I got that over here, did a playthrough of a bunch of it, and I loved it. You know, it's amazing just how well these games hold up visually because they're still some of the most gorgeous games around. And what more can I say than what you guys have already said? It's just so beautiful and fun.
I mean, graphically, it's amazing that aren't they still using the systems like from back in '94? Like it's still like the same structure. They're just cranking out even more power from the things somehow.
Yeah, I think you're right. There might have been slight adjustments in between, but because they had to crank it out every single year, they're like, okay, we kind of have to use like the same assets from the years before, right? So this is probably one of those cases.
Yeah. All right. Let's go ahead and get to our number one Neo Geo game of all time, beating out King of Fighters 98 by 150 points.
Sonic.
Not even close between.
I think it's Waku Waku 7.
Oh, okay.
Lock it in.
No, it's definitely Mark of the Wolves.
Yeah.
If it's anything else, I'm just like, I don't know what I'm talking about anymore. I'm done with YouTube.
Yeah, I'm done. I'm quitting. Number one, Garo, Mark of the Wolves.
There you go. There it is. I think that was
Waku
my first
Waku 7.
Yes.
Oh.
That game it's so cute and lovely, and I love Waku Waku 7, but it's just like, if that was on the list, I'd be like, yo, your guys' audience is based.
Fair. I mean, what can you say about Mark of the Wolves? It really is just them firing on all cylinders. Great cast update, great redesign of Terry. It blew my mind that his what was it, the Buster Wolf wasn't introduced until this game.
Yeah, no, this game did a lot of things that were new, but I think worked out really well for them. Like it's kind of like SNK's Third Strike, where they added in a bunch of new characters, except for like maybe like Terry, like the main one, but it actually kind of it was received well, as opposed to Third Strike, which didn't do as well at the time, even though it's a great game for different reasons. But yeah, I think the main thing that people kind of say about this game is that it showed that fighting game characters could actually grow up and evolve and actually get older instead of like being the same age forever. And I'm really glad that the game after the City of the Wolves that came out recently, they didn't backpedal on that, but they kind of like doubled down on like, no, like our characters are older and they've changed, and now they're different in some way, versus like in Street Fighter 6, you have Ryu, but that's the first time he's kind of been slightly different, besides for some minor adjustments between games. But like, Street Fighter 6 is really the first time where they were like, oh, Ryu's older, he has a beard now, he's cool, But that's why what I feel like people really talk about the game. And then obviously the stages, the sprite work is incredible. So this game is, I mean, it's up here for a reason.
Yeah, for sure. I just real quick tangent about City of the Wolves. I really hope, since Art of Fighting is in the same world, that Yuri makes it in as a DLC character, because I would love to see her like go from like bubbly 18-year-old from the late 80s to what is it, 40s now she'd be at in time of the City of the Wolves, or around that point. I want to see how they age that character up, because she is so youth based. What do you do with that character? I'd love to see what they do, what they manage with her. But again, that's the fun of Mark of the Wolves. You just got a whole new set, see how Terry ages and go from there, and just solid fighting systems. Because yeah, it's just a good one. it got close. Garo was always the one for a couple systems, like Dreamcast. It was very close to making it to the top 10. Like it was getting there.
Got it. Yeah, no, and an older, aged up Yuri would be really interesting. And in this game, you can actually imagine what, or you can like think of the possibility of that actually happening versus like just taking her appearance from, this game or like, other KOF games and like plopping it into the next game, but like
Yeah.
slightly different, like slightly different outfit, but she still looks the same type thing. So
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, I couldn't really imagine another game number 10 on Neo Geo. I mean, I was thinking like, what else could possibly come close, and nothing came to mind. This is just one of the essentials. If you don't play any
Yeah.
fighting games.
I do have the smallest of small criticisms for this
sure.
game. I was playing it fairly recently, actually, because I was like doing some comparisons between like City of the Wolves and Mark of the Wolves. And in the training mode, they don't actually play any music. So it's literally like just the sound effects of your characters, which is fine. But like normally I like to put on some sort of podcast or something in the background when I'm like playing a fighting game for research. And it's just so jarring. Like you just hear like your characters like just screaming all of a sudden when you do a move, and it just keeps happening over and over again. But anyways, it's such a small criticism. It's such a great game, but I'm just like, why did we make the decision to cut out the music in training mode specifically? But I don't know.
Not a clue on that one. But yeah, there is our top 10 Neo Geo games. It's supposed to be across from all their systems, but only the arcade machines made it into the top 10. They got AES releases, of course, but yeah, it's funny how that worked out. Now, typically we do go through the top 50 as well, and I will do that right now. But because of limited time, we're going to, I'm not going to be able to comment as much as I typically do on what came out. So pop it out there if you have something to say, but we'll start it out. But yeah, number 11 missed out the top 10 by 2 points. Samurai Showdown 2.
Oh man, that's where it was. I was like, why isn't it here?
Yeah, it was so close. Almost made it. Number 12, Sonic Pocket Adventure for the Pocket Color.
Nearly made it.
So
Nearly
close.
made it.
Kylan, how base is our audience for having Waku Waku 7 at number 13?
Heck yeah. I am so happy. Like, I did not even think it would crack top 20. That's awesome. That game's really great. Highly recommend checking it out.
Number 13. 14, Puzzle Bobble. So
okay.
You had the heart of the people there. 15, The King of Fighters 2000. 16, SNK versus Capcom, the match of the millennium for the Pocket Color. So
it's further than I thought.
There, a little further down. 90 points. So again, it was close, like 90 points compared to 137 for Real Bout 2, which made the top 10. At 17, Shock Troopers. At 18, SNK versus Capcom Card Fighters Clash for the Pocket Color.
Oh, that's surprising.
Yeah, gonna get those card fighters in there. 19, Baseball Stars 2. 20, Twinkle Star Sprites. 21,
that's a good game.
21, Magician Lord. 22, Blazing Star. 23, the original Samurai Showdown. 24, Samurai Showdown 5 Special. 25, Neo Bomberman. 26, The King of Fighters 97. 27, Fatal Fury Special. 28, here's SVC Chaos. So a little further down, I think its reputation kind of hurts it a little bit. 29, Real Bout Fatal Fury. 30, Magical Drop 3. 31, Samurai Showdown 5. I wasn't sure whether the combined 5 or in 5 special or not. I wasn't sure how different they were, whether it was an update or significantly different but from what my research was, it felt like they were significantly different, which is why I didn't combine them. At 32, Kizuna Encounter Super Tag Battle. 33, Real Bout Fatal Fury Special. Also tied at 33, The King of Fighters 96. At 35, Metal Slug 5. 36, Art of Fighting 3, The Path of the Warrior. Tied at 37, Top Hunter, Roddy and Kathy, and Samurai Showdown 4, Amakusa's Revenge. And then tied at 39, Arrow Fighters 2 and Shock Troopers Second Squad. Three-way tie for 41 with Puzzle Bobble 2, King of Fighters R2 for the Pocket Color, and SNK Gals Fighters for the Pocket Color.
Good game.
Speaking of waifus, at 44, The King of Fighters 2001. At 45, Shinsetsu Samurai Spirits Bushido Retsuden for the Neo Geo Neo Hyper 60 Geo the Hyper 64 CD, or no, just the Neo Geo CD, whichever. The Samurai Showdown RPG. That's what number 45 is. Tied at 46, Fatal Fury 2 and Fatal Fury 3, amazingly. 48, Mega Man Battle and Fighters for the Pocket Color. And tied at 49, Polestar and Matra Melee.
Man.
So there's our top 50. If you have an interest in getting into some old school Neo Geo games.
Where are all the pachinko games?
I know, right?
Who would have thought that they're not on this list?
Yeah, weird. By the way, Bariki won since you voted, since you mentioned that, Kylan. 4 points.
Oh no! People need to know about Bariki 1 though. That is a great game, legitimately.
Unfortunately, did not do super well. It's not super well known, but
That's fair.
Yeah. But that is our Neo Geo list. But we are not done because we have more arcade games to talk about from the 2000s to the present. Because boy, how did the arcade scene kind of die after the millennium? But let's just dive right into it. We got 10 more games to talk about. And first up, what is our number 10 2000s to present arcade game of all time? And this one got 97 points, just to have a sort of a idea there.
It's difficult.
It's a wider net this time, that's for sure.
Yeah, you never know what type of game's gonna be on here.
No, the genre wasn't so defined in the 2000s plus. It wasn't just fighting games. It was like light gun games, rhythm games, driving games. I'm gonna say the original Monkey Ball arcade machine at number 10.
Oh, that's good. That's a good guess. My guess, I know this is a popular game, but I think it only released in Japan, I believe. I'm gonna go with although there might be something coming up on the Steam, actually, I've heard. But I'm gonna go with the Initial D racing game.
Okay, very cool. At number 10, John, how the hell did you do that? Monkey Ball.
We all love Monkey Ball. I mean, you play it with a banana. What more could you want?
I was gonna say, is this the one with the banana stick? I saw that when I went to MagFest. It was so cool.
Yeah.
I've never seen a Monkey Ball machine.
I've never seen it in person either. I really want to, though. I know, unlike Super Monkey Ball, there's no gong. That's what's super added. Otherwise, it's like really similar to the GameCube game. Like textures are a bit different. But I want to play with that banana.
Don't clip that. Don't clip that. Yeah, I don't have too much context for this game beyond like the other Monkey Ball games I've played. So like, like you mentioned, the one in the GameCube, I played a little bit when I was younger and growing up. But yeah, I just distinctly remember the controller. I saw that at MagFest specifically, and no one was on the machine. So I like immediately gravitated towards it, and I was like, oh, this will be perfect to like put this in a video or something down the line that I talk about. So I actually do have a video or like a photo of it somewhere on my desktop that I haven't found. But yeah, overall, just like a really fun game to play. The aesthetic is super charming, and what's not to like about Monkey Ball? So
yeah, very true. Oh, goodness. All right. Let's go ahead and get to our number 9 2000s to present arcade game. Beating out Monkey Ball by 3 points.
Oh,
very close.
I'm thinking about what light gun games were 2000s plus, because the 90s had House of the Dead 2 and Time Crisis 2.
Oh, God.
Time Crisis 3 would be 2000s, but I feel like that's higher.
Wasn't there's House of the Dead 4, right?
There is, okay. Yeah, and 3. I'll say House of the Dead 3 for this one.
Okay. I think that's a good choice. Man, is this just there's not a lot to work with here. So
there's a lot isn't. In Japan specifically, there's a lot of rhythm games. So like Taiko.
Yeah, I think that's definitely higher.
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely think Taiko must be higher on there.
Yeah.
A DDR, I don't
DDR.
know. I think it was like made in the 90s, but like 2000s was like the Renaissance, so it's
Yeah.
definitely up there. All right, I'm gonna go with a game that if it's not here, then it's not gonna be anywhere else. Similar to my Hail Mary with Bariki 1. I'm gonna go Power Stone 2.
Oh, good pick.
Okay. All right. At number 9, John, you're so close. Time Crisis 3.
Oh man, I wish this was
Ah, okay.
higher. Time Crisis
Oh man,
2
I
rocks.
love how it's like it made the top 10. Oh man.
It's cool. It's cool. Time Crisis 3 rocks though. The Time Crisis 2 is probably my favorite in the series, but 3 has like different weapons you can choose between. So like you can get behind cover and change to like a machine gun or a shotgun. Just has that strategy. And just like 2, like it's 2 sort of screens in one, so the person next to you has like a different perspective. The pedal is cool as always. Yeah, man. We need more Time Crisis.
Where does this game rank among like 3? How does that rank among the other Time Crisis games? I know you mentioned 2 is your favorite, but like, is that the one that's considered the most popular?
I think 2 and 3 usually battle it out for number 1. And depending on the day, how I'm feeling, sometimes 3's the best. I think 2's just got that personality that I like, but 3's definitely the most advanced.
Time Crisis games, I can't even remember which ones it was, but it was as a hallmark of the Boardwalk arcade that there was always there, and there would always be somebody on it. So I never actually played it myself, but watching them play and seeing how into it people got playing Time Crisis,
Yeah.
like they would almost shift behind cover themselves before popping out. Like it was, or they had the most intense looks on their faces as they were just so focused on shooting down these guys. It always looked fun, but man, it's so hard to bring back light gun games anymore.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, that foot pedal to me was always like the most defining aspect of it. That I always like, when I saw in the arcades, I was like, dang, that looks like a ton of fun. I want to try it out. But I don't know why. I'm actually not super familiar with this game. I never really played it, but I've heard things about it. So
there's a really good PS2 port that we covered in a video because you can use a cable to link 2 PS2s together and then have the dual TV setup. And we used the dance mat to replicate the pedal. So you just sort of press it like up on the mat, and you go behind cover, get off to get out. So that's a really cool port.
Oh wow, that's awesome. Is there like a specific kind of dance mat that people use, or is it just like the soft pads?
I think you can use like a more high end one, but yeah, I use the one from DDR.
Yeah, fair enough.
I love that you can just jerry rig your way into having a somewhat close arcade experience.
Yeah.
It's fun. All right, let's continue on and figure out what our number 8 2000s to present arcade game of all time is, beating out Time Crisis 3 by 11 points.
Okay. How many fighting games are we expecting here? Because not many people played like fighting games in the 2000s in the arcade outside of Japan.
Yeah, I mean, I had quite a few of them up here, but I'm obviously very biased, so I don't know if I'm the best judge of what was popular during this time period or not. I have a couple of fighting games on here that I think could very well be front runners. Marvel vs. Capcom 2, Street Fighter 4, CVS 2, Soul Calibur 2 for the arcade. God, I'm like trying to think what else. All right, I'm gonna go for fighting game for number 8 since we haven't seen one of those yet. I'm gonna go with a really popular one in the series. Let's go with Tekken 5.
Nice.
I think that's like the last one in the arcades that probably mattered.
Yeah. I'll go with Outrun 2. See where
That's a
that
good one.
goes, if anywhere.
All right. At number 8, Kylan, you were just a little too early. Power Stone 2.
Oh, nice. Okay. Well, I'm glad it was more popular than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, I think it's just great arcade experience. I think people you play Power Stone, you love Power Stone. You are going to vote for Power Stone. So,
Yeah, this one oh sorry, go ahead.
No, it's fine. I was just going to say I didn't realize that among fighting game players, Power Stone 2 is not that popular, just because it's definitely more party-ish.
Yeah, so it was 4-player instead of the original being 2-player. And then I think another aspect of it is that they changed a lot of the balance of the game as well. So in the previous version, like when you got the power stones, like that was like really like you did not at all costs you want to prevent your opponent from doing that because it was really powerful attack, but they nerfed it significantly in 2, as well as they put multiple, like more than just 3 gems in play at times. So it kind of added more to the chaotic aspect of it, but I think like that also kind of, it wasn't as, I guess, like the fighting game players didn't like it because it was more of that party aspect, but it's still like a really fun game. It's on the new Capcom fighting game collection 2. And 2 is the game that I would show to my friends that don't like fighting games, or like they're like, oh, I'm not into fighting games, just because it does have that accessibility with the super easy buttons. Like there's only 3 of them, so I'm really happy to see it on this list, honestly. Like I love Power Stone, and it's a great series.
Yeah,
and I'm not surprised to see 2 up here over 1, but
yeah, it adds a wrinkle in my expectations because I've played Power Stone 2 a bunch on the Dreamcast, but at least in the UK, I've never seen an arcade machine because our bowling alleys and everything were very much dominated by light guns and racing games and like DDR. So I don't know whether to guess based on fighting games I played on console with arcade adaptations or just what was available.
Yeah. It's a hard guess.
Yeah, it's like how many people have actually played these on the arcade. that's sort of the tricky part there, because I've never seen Power Stone 2 in an arcade, and my first time seeing it was at a PAX East where they were the game room. They had Dreamcast set up and people were playing Power Stone 2, and just I there was no room for it, but I was just watching. It was like, man, this looks like fun. It's so chaotic. Just you're fighting the stages almost more so than your opponents, because like, oh, you're on a sub. Okay, now the sub's going underwater. Now you're on an ice floe. Good luck.
Yeah, the stages are just like constantly moving and shifting, and it's very much like the Smash Bros, like the Pac-Man stage, where like it's constantly moving.
Yeah.
You're just like, people might not. Well, I personally don't really like that stage for that reason, but yeah, Power Stone 2 is it's a really, really fun one too. They have like also like you can ride different things as well. Like you can ride in like the little gun artillery thing. You can ride, I think, in like little cars and skateboards. So there's a lot more, like weirdly, there's more movement options, but overall, yeah, still a really fun game, still simplified inputs. It's the same game at the core, but more done up for the party.
Makes sense. All right, let's continue on and find out what our number 7 2000s to the present arcade game of all time is. Boy, that is such a mouthful. This beat out Power Stone 2 by 13 points.
I'm going to say a basic one. Mario Kart Arcade GP DX.
Okay. Funnily enough, I also what are we at number wise? We're
number 7.
Sorry, I'm like tripping over my
words.
words.
It's fine. It's fine.
I actually had Mario Kart GP listed as my number 7 too.
Okay.
And I've been burned so much of like in the previous one with like fighting games not being as high up as I initially wanted. So yeah, let's go something different. I'm gonna agree actually. Let's do Mario Kart.
We're double downing.
Doubling downing. Okay. Double downing on Mario Kart Arcade GP DX. At number 7, it's Taiko no Tatsujin.
Damn it. I thought this would actually be a lot higher, to be honest.
I thought that was going to be like number 3 or something.
It's kind of a hallmark now, isn't it? Like maybe in the West in its time, not so much, but I feel like now you go to any kind of arcade, especially like an enthusiast one, and it's there. And it's become like it's skyrocketed with the home console releases too. Every system has a Taiko game now. Yes, I thought this would be way higher.
Yeah, I agree. I love the console ports. Like you said, the Switch one is
Mm.
really great. But nothing like really beats the arcade experience of just like
Yeah.
pounding on the drums as hard as possible.
Because it
Big old
actually is a
taiko
giant
drum.
drum, right?
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
it's like a
Yeah.
huge drum. And I don't know if you guys have ever played it or experienced it, but it's like
No.
I feel like I hit the drum and it never picks up on the sensors because people have been like beating on it so hard that I'm just like I have to beat on it like equally hard to get anything to pick up. So it's
Mm,
always this like huge workout because you're slamming on the drums so hard.
yeah. I went to a rhythm arcade with a friend in London like a month ago, and it was super rad. There's this big taiko machine with a few people lining up for it. Um, and I don't think this is going to show up on the list, and I can't remember its title anyway. But there's also a rhythm game that use motion sensors. So like you have your hands
Oh,
here.
Oh,
I've
is
seen
it
those before
Does,
where you
does
just
anyone
like
know what it's called?
above and
Yeah, so
below.
you hold your hands out, and if a note is like going up, you move your hand up, and like you move
Oh
along
no.
with it.
is it two of them?
It might be. I can't quite remember, but I remember it being very cool. Either way, probably not here. But, but I thought that was amazing.
Yeah, it's funny because like a lot of those newer arcade games, they do have really great modern music selection. But I feel like Taiko Drum has some really weird music picks, honestly. Like they have Mitsurugi's theme from Soul Calibur, and I was like, this is kind of random, but like,
Yeah.
all right, based pick. But yeah, Taiko, I feel like between Taiko, like the Gundam Extreme Versus games, and like that's pretty much what's keeping the arcade scene in Japan alive right now.
Yeah, yeah.
At least like when I
Oh.
went to Japan, like that's what I saw a lot
Oh,
of.
wow.
those
The
machines.
track selection is wild. Like there's like Namco songs, like you were saying, and then you also get anime songs. You get Japanese pop. You get there's classical music in there too.
I don't know who's picking that, but
It is all over the place. My only real experience with Taiko is I had friends and they had it on the Switch and they actually had the accessory that allowed you to plug it in and have a
Yeah.
little drum kit for it as well. And it was cute because their son who was playing with Kai also liked to play on it, so he'd hit on it as the notes would go through. Well, he wasn't very good, but you know, it's still cute to watch.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was I was looking through the song lineup. I'm like, what the hell is this music? Like it is just a little bit of everything, as you guys were both saying, and just like anime, video game stuff. I think the Switch version, doesn't it have like some Nintendo songs as well?
Yeah. I think like
Mhm.
One Up Girl from Odyssey is in there.
Yeah, it did.
Mm.
So
Yeah.
weird.
super cool rhythm game, ton of fun. Great workout for the arms too. So yeah, definitely you should definitely check it out if you can. Nowadays, like you can find them at round ones, like
Mm.
all the time if there's one near you. So
Yeah, perfect. Let's go ahead and move on to our number 6 2000s to the present arcade game of all time. What beat out Taiko no Tatsujin by 7 points?
oh, it's close.
It's very
Mm.
close. A lot of these have been close. There has been not much spread between all of them.
No.
Oh, I forgot to mention, by the way, for while you guys are thinking of that, 2000s to present arcade, it got 117 votes total, but the spread was 222 different games.
Oh god.
Yeah.
All right. It's
So
gonna be close for a lot of people.
again, all the more impressive that John has kind of nailed. Like you guys have mentioned all the games that have been on the top ones so far. So
Mhm.
it's
Mhm.
been like impressive.
Someone's gonna vote for like the Pac-Man air hockey machine from my local arcade.
Yeah, one of the many Pac-Man games. I'm just gonna be like, I don't know which one this is. There's so many of them.
The basketball game where you just try and get as many in the hoop as you can. I don't know. I'm gonna say Outrun 2 again. I feel like this is kind of the place for it.
Okay, I think that's a
Okay.
good one. Dang, I just keep getting burned with these fighting game picks. I'm gonna go. All right, I'm gonna do a repeat. I'm gonna do Mario Kart again.
Okay,
All right.
it's 2 racing games.
Yes.
2 racing games. It's a race between the two. And at number 6, Kylan gets it. Mario Kart Arcade GP DX.
Very cool. Very cool.
Funny story with this one. I have played it in the arcades before, but I actually learned how to emulate it for the Wii through a video on your guys' channel. So
Yeah.
funny enough. So it's kind of weird full circle moment that we're actually talking about this here.
Yeah. There's a few arcade games built off GameCube hardware. This is one of them. There's also F-Zero AX, and I think it was like Sega Soccer Slam was one of them too. But yeah, it's a really cool one. It plays very differently to standard Mario Kart. So like when you drift, you kind of let go of the pedal and then push back on rather than just holding a button. And they also just throw there's like 50 items or something in this game. Like it feels kind of endless.
Yeah, it's definitely a weird game because it's like also the courses are a lot shorter as well. And yeah, I remember there was something weird with the item system as well, where they're not like traditional Mario Kart
Yeah.
items. They're like
It's like a
something
pan
else.
or yeah.
But yeah, when I played this game, I remembered they have some goofy crossover characters in here too, like the
Yeah.
Tamagotchi character and
Mm.
like Pac-Man. And I remember I was playing this game with a friend, and every time I would like become, I would be first in the race, like there would be an announcer going, Momochi, who's like the Tamagotchi
Yeah.
guy. I never knew his name. Momochi is in the lead. Momochi is number one. And I was like, what the heck is this? It's a interesting game, to say the least, but it's fun in its own way. It's very much an arcade game.
Hmm.
I've only seen gameplay of it. I've never seen one out in the wild, which is a bit of a shame. But I'm looking here at what it added, and appropriately enough, there's courses and even the Don-chan as a character from the Taiko no
That's
Tatsujin
right.
in
Mhm.
GPDX,
Mhm.
which is pretty cool. There, it also implemented the hang gliders and underwater segments from Mario Kart 7. According to this Wikipedia, this doesn't seem right at all. There's upwards towards 100 different items, though not all are available in all races.
That
Like,
is
what in the
correct. That is
world?
correct.
I didn't
Yeah.
realize there were that many.
So you have an item card that like saves your save data.
Mhm.
And every race, I think it limits you to like 10 items or something. But the more you play, you unlock more items. And so there's like a random roulette wheel which tells you what items are going to be in the race each time. And they're wild, yeah. Like you have like your standard bananas and shells, but then you get like pans or the Dr. Mario viruses, or they stretch it so far. A lot of them are like kind of the same but reskinned, but yeah, there's so many in there. It makes me kind of wonder though, because DX is technically a different game to the standard Mario Kart Arcade GP. They're kind of sequels. So I
Yeah.
wonder if we've
I might have been
shaken.
thinking of GP actually. I might have been instead of DX. So maybe I don't know what the differences are.
Well, you have Arcade GP as the original.
Okay.
Yes.
And then there's Arcade GP2 in 2007.
Yeah,
Like,
and
I consider
GP
these sequels because there's a pretty lengthy
Yeah.
difference between all of them. And then DX wasn't until 2013.
Okay,
Yeah,
I played the one with like, the Tamagotchi character and
Yeah,
Pac-Man.
yeah.
So I
Yeah,
think
that would be Arcade GP2, it looks like, looking through this one.
Oh, okay, got it.
And
know
GP2 is
that.
basically an expansion of GP1. They're basically the same game, but with more stuff.
Okay.
Oh,
got
okay.
it, got
I didn't realize it was more of it because I heard it said sequel. I always look for a revision when I'm tallying these up, so I didn't put those two together. So yeah, okay.
I'm sure all the versions are fun regardless.
Yeah, exactly. So that's I'd love to try it out. The courses always seem pretty wide to me as well, as far as the gameplay is concerned, but wouldn't mind going to an arcade and actually trying it out. But yeah, we've reached our top 5 2000s to present arcade games, and let's find out what number 5 is that beat out Mario Kart Arcade GP DX by 20 points.
All right. So regular Arcade GP is probably still in the running. And Outrun 2, I think, is probably in the running as well. But there's still a lot of other games, especially fighting game wise.
Yeah, it's hard to say. It's really hard to say.
I I will say Street Fighter 4. Never actually seen the arcade machine in person, but I feel like this was big enough to bypass that.
Yeah, that's a good guess too. Yeah, I do like the fighting game theme going on now. I think I might also go with that. I'm gonna say CVS2.
Mm.
All right. At number 5, John, you get it. Street Fighter 4.
Man.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah, I mean, what a game. I've only ever played it on console, but
Same.
especially in Japan, this was massive. It was at a time where like 2D fighters just couldn't really exist anymore. So what a way to bring it back. I think on consoles it thrived because of online play as well. Just kind of kept it going endlessly. And I can't speak to the arcade machine too much, but yeah, it's such a revolutionary game though.
Yeah, I think 4 is an interesting game because, like you said, 2D games were not very popular at that time. So this was really the game that kind of revitalized 2D fighters as a whole. It's also a game that is more so a sequel to 2 rather than 3 because it plays it very safe in terms of like the character roster and even in the story, because the story of 4 takes place right after 2, because I guess they got so burned by 3, they were like, oh no, we gotta roll it back to
Not touching that.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, no, I mean, I know this game, like I wasn't really playing Street Fighter 4 when it was super popular, but I know this was a game that was extremely popular. It added in characters like Sea Viper, who's going to be in Smash. And yeah, I think also this is like a random fact, but Ryu's appearance in Smash is actually based off of his Street Fighter 4 appearance because he has a focus attack he uses, which is a mechanic in 4.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, it's a very good game. Still, people still play this to this day. So, yeah.
Yeah. I never saw Street Fighter 4 out in the wild, but I remember it being a very big deal, and absolutely picked up when it came to consoles and just had a good time. I know it got arcade releases in the States though. It wasn't just a Japan thing. So
I've never seen one here.
Okay.
I might be making this up, but I feel like it's like kind of on a Vuelix like system, or maybe it is on a Vuelix. I don't actually remember ever seeing it in arcades either, so I'm just guessing. But
it's
I feel like it would be on one of those if it was out there.
Somewhere out there. But yeah, apparently it did get some of the revisions where it didn't arcades didn't get Super Street Fighter, but it did get Arcade Edition and Ultra. So
right.
Oh, okay, interesting. I didn't know that.
Yeah, I was surprised to see that. But yeah, at number 5, Street Fighter 4. But yeah, speaking of 4s, let's get to number 4. What is our number 4 2000s to present arcade game of all time, beating out Street Fighter 4 by 42 points? A little bit of a jump.
Is there a specific DDR, I should say? Because I do not know the specifics with the franchise. I just know you dance to them.
All I can tell you is that from counting them up and doing like research and make sure like they're in the right time zone and all that, or time frame. Holy crap, there's so many DDR games.
Well, Shell Shock's saying Dance Dance Revolution Extreme. So I put my trust in Shell Shock.
Yeah, I don't I'm not aware. I also always just bunch them together in my mind as one game. So yeah, I don't know if there's like a specific one that's popular, but it's got to be on there.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I'll say Extreme for number 3.
Okay.
Number 4 even.
Yeah, number 4.
All right. I actually thought Street Fighter 4 was going to be a little bit higher up on this list. I'm gonna, man, I don't think it's probably not Tekken 5, even though, you know what? I'm gonna take my earlier pick. I'm gonna slot it right here. Let's go Tekken 5.
Yeah, give it a chance.
Yeah,
Going
why
Tekken
not?
5. All right. At number 4, Sean, you mentioned it earlier. You didn't say it again here. Outrun 2.
I didn't want to keep saying it. I've said it like 3 times in a row.
That's the funny thing is like, he said it too early. Now he's going to give up.
No. Outrun 2 rocks, though. I wish they'd try Outrun again because they haven't really attempted it since 2.
Yeah.
And it was very much just like, it was just a very logical adaptation of the original game, just in 3D. But the vibes were like off the roof. The soundtrack's amazing. And the actual arcade machine itself is awesome with that big chair, great steering wheel.
Yeah.
The feedback too, like when you drift, like you feel like the very jaggedy vibrations just sort of drifting against the seat. So that feels awesome. Yeah.
I've never seen one. I'm so upset.
I was looking for one of those machines when I was in Japan. Actually, I was like, I have to see this machine, and I actually saw it in the Sega Joyopolis, which is kind of like a Sega theme park. But it was like $10 to play one game.
No.
So I was like, I can't justify this. Like, I can't play this.
Oh, that's rough.
And I believe it came out on the Xbox as well, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
Because I own a copy of that. And then I was trying to play it on the Xbox 360 because supposedly I think it was backwards compatible, but it didn't. It did not work. So I haven't been able to really play it. And there's no really legal way to kind of play that game right now. So
the last official Outrun game we've gotten was sort of another update to the Outrun 2 called 2006 Coast to Coast, which did release on PS2 and Xbox and Windows. But
got it. And wasn't it made by the Sonic All-Stars Racing team?
By Sumo Digital. That's right.
All right. I mean,
I wish they'd get another chance. I wish they could just do Outrun 3 or port Outrun 2.
That would be so cool.
Something like that. Man. I've not tried Outrun 2 because I didn't have an Xbox at the time and I missed the 2006 just went completely by my head. But man, even just playing the original Outrun is still just so much fun. So 3D updated version of that, hell yeah. I'm all down.
It's a great game.
So yep. I just realized I was looking at the wiki. There's a heart attack mode.
Okay.
That's what they call it. The player drives the open-ended course to a time limit, and the passenger will frequently request certain stunts and actions. So you got to do those actions. So, yeah, I guess
if you die, if you lose, you die in real life.
Yeah, there you go. All right. Well, let's go ahead and get to our top 3 2000s to present arcade games. And what came in at number 3, beating out Outrun 2 by 18 points.
Okay, so this is a close one.
Yeah,
it's a bit close. Yeah.
I'm gonna go with another fighting game because I know, at least I hope I know, it is up there for sure. I'm gonna go MVC 2.
Nice.
All right.
I'll go with DDR Extreme again. I feel like DDR is just such a cornerstone.
It's gotta be one of them.
Gotta be. At number 3, it's one that neither of you have yet to mention yet. F-Zero AX.
Oh.
I'm kind of shocked because great game. Who's actually found it?
Exactly. Who's actually played this other than unlocking it in F-Zero GX? You try them. Did AX even release in the States? I don't know, but we're getting a little bit of shenanigans here, but sure.
I know that one of the airports in the UK had one because I remember people taking pictures of it, like being like, there's one like Gatwick or something. And I had a plane there. I was like, I'm finally going to get to play this machine. And it just was not there. So I don't know when that was taken away. I know that there's a few machines in Japan at the very least. I know that's true.
I'm looking here. It did release in the States in September of 2003. So there were American machines.
I've never seen this in my life.
Well, just like Outrun, I know that Sega's like feedback is really cool too. Like I think the chair moves a bit when you play. It's like a bit of anti-grav feel. So it sounds awesome, but man, I don't know if I'm going to experience this in my life.
I might be waiting a while.
I highly doubt it. I mean, it what was it? Mario Kart Arcade. They also had little stripe cards that you could use to keep your race data on.
Yeah, right.
Oh wow, very cool.
Yep. I think weren't you also able to use? Yeah, you can use your GameCube memory card and plug it into the arcade machine.
Yeah.
I was looking here.
I don't know much about this game, but is it? Do they have a similar thing where you can take a picture of your face and it follows you around?
I don't think so for this one.
That'd be fun.
I was like, that'd be funny.
Oh man, if you actually played the arcade version of this, I would love to know. I highly doubt a lot of people actually have, but at least they're not these tracks aren't lost because since they are part of GX, they're held to unlock, but they're there.
Yeah.
So
if you're willing to put the work in.
Yep. So I loved it. I love like doubt, just doubt. Both of you.
I doubt so many people's picks, but I'm sure it's a great game. And I have played the actual like the ROM of it, but an actual arcade machine, not so much.
Yeah, I'm actually impressed it beat out Mario Kart. I would have expected Mario Kart to rank higher than this, but F-Zero fans are a dedicated
I
bunch.
guess does that mean that a regular arcade GP isn't here?
I don't know. We'll see.
Wait, it sounds like you just said that.
You're interpreting my words. How dare you?
Sounded very suspicious.
All right. Well, let's get to before I put my foot in my mouth any further, let's get to our number 2 2000s-Present arcade game of all time, beating out F-Zero AX by 53 points.
Doubling down MVC2 because I think DDR is number 1. So it's got to be here.
Probably right. Yeah. I'm struggling to think what else it could be. It feels like DDR and MVC2 are kind of the main two.
All right, you guys are going with that?
I'll say the opposite. I'll say DDR just in case.
Okay, hedging your bets.
Yeah. Okay. At number 2, Kylan, you said it earlier.
Oh,
but it's instead Capcom versus SNK2 Mark of the Millennium 2001.
Whoa.
Okay. I'm surprised it would be above MVC2, actually.
Wait, so do we think that MVC2 is number 1 and DDR is not here at all?
There's no way DDR is not here.
Yeah.
That's... anyways, it was a great game. Let's talk about PS2. It's not in my like top 5 favorite fighting games, but it's probably in my top 10. There's all the stages in that game are like a celebration of the crossover between Capcom and SNK, kind of like a big party. And there is like this Japanese float stage where you have like floats of like Harumaru and E Honda, like it's like a summer Matsuri sort of thing. So yeah, it's a great game. I know CVS2 is the one that's competitively played over CVS1. Although I probably slightly prefer CVS1 more, but yeah, really awesome game. Nothing but good things to say about it. Yeah.
But this is another one where I've never seen the arcade machine in person. But I've played this on console though. And just echoing everything you said, it's a really fun game.
I still need to pick up Capcom's Fighting Collection 2 because I'm very interested in trying these because I saw like the GameCube version of CVS2 back in the day. And like, what is SNK? I just did not know this. And from what I understand, a lot of Capcom heads discovered SNK characters thanks to these crossovers. But now that I have that like familiarity with the SNK characters, I'm like, I do want to try this out. I just haven't had a chance to pick up the collection, and there's so many games on this collection I do want to play.
Yeah.
So eventually trying it, but from what I understand, a lot of fighting game community members consider this like almost proto Street Fighter 4. Like it feels apparently it feels like very Street Fighter to them.
Interesting. I don't know about like super in depth about the mechanics, but I know
I don't know about mechanics wise, but just like feels wise. It's like it's so similar to like how a Street Fighter plays, I guess. That you can almost view it in that angle. I don't know. Maybe I'm talking not knowing what I'm saying.
Yeah, no. That's an interesting take. I don't know if I can speak to that necessarily, but yeah, I know that this game is, you can definitely pick up the collection if you can. Like this game and CVS1 like are absolutely fantastic and some of my favorite games of all time. But yeah, nothing but good things to say about it.
Yeah.
Agreed. So it's time to figure out our number 1 2000s to the present arcade game of all time.
It's
What
Marvel.
do you
It's
think
going to be
it'll be?
Marvel.
I don't know. I don't know. I feel like it's DDR.
I mean, there's
um,
been a discussion going on in live audience about whether DDR was too scattered, like too many iterations, and
maybe.
most people don't know what they are. Like, you know, you go into an arcade, you play DDR, you don't really know what version it is. So maybe that's changed it a bit. And it's also not like a gamery game; it's like an everyone game. So maybe Marvel
Right.
just favors.
I don't know. I don't know how many fighting game fans you guys, like hardcore fighting
Yeah,
game fans you guys have in your audience. I feel like DDR, because it's, an everybody's type of game. Like I feel like, I don't know, I feel like it's popular. Like MVC2 nowadays, it's remembered fondly by fighting game fans, but like there's not that many people that are really playing it in the general populace versus DDR. Like everybody, like everyone's grandma, grandpa, like
yeah.
mom knows about DDR. So, God,
So we're saying Rhythm Tengoku, which is Rhythm Heaven, is number one.
I mean, I love that
Obviously,
game, but
obviously.
not sure about it being on this list. I'm gonna go DDR. I do love MVC too. I'm just prefacing this by saying like I love that game, but I think the power of DDR it's up there.
Yeah. I mean, I hope that you're right, but I'm going to stick with Marvel just to
Okay.
give some variety.
All right. At number 1, it's Marvel, baby.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm so
So
disappointed.
just to lay it out there, yeah, DDR struggled because, good God, there's so many versions. There's so, like, I think there's yearly versions of Dance Dance Revolution. It is ridiculous. So nailing it down to one game is nearly impossible to have it. Like, yeah, from in 2011, there's 4 different versions of DDR.
Wow.
2001's 2 different versions, 2002 two different versions, and just so forth. Like it is ridiculous how many versions. So the vote just got split.
That makes sense. And plus now you have games like Pump It Up and Dance Rush and that all kind of fall into that kind of category. So that makes sense. But I had a bit planned where as soon as DDR came up, I was gonna slap on this DDR shirt.
Oh, that's a cool shirt.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, I got this when I was at CEO. But anyways, I'm just gonna wear it anyways.
Yeah, you should rep.
But yeah, MVC2, one of the most influential fighting games probably of all time. It's a very jank. I mean, when I say that, I meant like the balance is very jank. So there's only very specific characters that you can play in that game that are viable, and also a bit of a controversial game when it came out as well, just because it was so different than the games that came before it.
Yeah.
There's a bit more of a it's competitive highly, but it's also a bit more of a party flair. Like I feel like anyone can walk up in the arcade, be like, I know Wolverine, I know Spider-Man, and just it's such a fast-paced game. You can jump incredibly high in the air. I feel like there's quite a casual base to it too.
Yeah, I mean, I would say so. Like, just because the character roster is so cool, right? You have like Tronbon, and I love Misadventures of Tronbon. You got the Serve bots, like you got Resident Evil characters. Like, there's just
it was very cool to me to see Jill there, like actually get a sprite.
I think that's the thing that made it very popular. But then, like, you go against somebody that actually knows what they're doing, and you're just like immediately smacked down.
You see somebody coming in there with Storm, Magneto, and Sentinel. It's like, nope, I'm done.
I know, yeah. They're playing like a MSP or something like that. You're like, I'm out. But yeah, it was controversial at the time because mostly of like the music. A lot of people, they had like freeform jazz type music in there that people were like, oh man, like we don't like this. Like, what are they doing? And then now it's kind of reversed 180 now, where everyone's like, oh man, like we love the music of this game, and everyone has Stockholm syndrome just because they've heard it so much. And like the many
it's so iconic though. Like I think like when you first hear it, you're like, this is such a weird fit for a fighting game.
Right.
But it's hard to disassociate. Like, I want to take you for a ride from Marvel vs. Capcom. Like, when I think about that game, I think about the music. It's just so tethered to it.
Yeah. For sure, that let me take you for the ride. It's just like as soon as you hear it, it's just like instantly bringing you back there.
I didn't realize how controversial it was, because I picked it up on PlayStation 2 back in the day, but didn't also quite understand it. There wasn't a lot there for a guy who just mostly played fighting games by himself. There was no story mode. There wasn't really much for me to really do. So I ultimately traded it in, which is I shouldn't have
Yeah,
done that, but
I
it is what it is.
sorry. So I was recently on this fighting game charity stream thing, and so in one of the segments, we actually had to do a tier list of ranking different fighting games,
Oh boy.
and basically it was really funny because like Justin Wong, who's probably one of the most well-known Marvel players out there, like he was like, Marvel 2, it's going in F tier. And
Oh,
I was
whoa.
trying to argue that like, no, like the game, even though it's like not very well balanced, obviously, like it's still a really good game. There's still definitely value to find a whole like generation of fighting game players in the scene, but ultimately it got put into F tier. So I
Oh my
just,
God.
yeah, I'm
That's
like,
shocking to me.
even top Marvel players think that game is trash. So
I mean, can't the same thing be leveled at Street Fighter 3, where it's like you pick Cammy or Ken and that's about it? That's from what I understand.
yeah, that's fair. Although there was a Hugo player that did pretty well.
I saw that Hugo player. That was cool. I like when those underdog characters can come in.
Evil
But
Woman 38. That was
yeah,
pretty crazy. But yeah, this game, not to harp on it too much, but like I know you mentioned like there not really being much of a story or anything like that, but if you look really carefully, like if you look at the stages, there actually is kind of a thread of a story going on where it's like the main character is Ruby Heart and she's on this journey to save the planet, and so she's like on her ship at the ship dock, and then she's like in the air, and then like she's going to like all these different places, and then finally she goes into a cave to fight the final boss. So if you really read into it, there actually is some story in there, but that's probably only something that like if you're crazy you bothered
Well, I
looking
think that's
into.
kind of cool. I never
Yeah.
really thought about that before, but you're right. There is kind of a thread going on there.
There's a thin thread and you have to read into it, but
Yeah.
yeah, no, I mean I'm very glad it's on here. I look like a poser right now if my DJ
nah, you're all good. Yeah, it's. As soon as I made this list, like I know it's number one. I just knew that Marvel vs. Capcom 2 was going to be number one, just because it wasn't available. Like, a lot of people voted for it in the 90s list because like, no, it came out in 2000. That is a 2000 game. So
It's funny.
doesn't
You
quite
had
count.
faith. You had faith.
Yes.
I did not have faith.
I've been doing these lists for a while, so it's just yeah, there's been a lot. But yeah, that is our top 10, which is a solid mix. I think it's very reflective of the arcades of that time. We got the sort of you got some rhythm games in there with Tycho. You got some racing games with Outrun, F-Zero, and Mario Kart. You got your gimmicky games like Monkey Ball, and then you still have your fighting games that are, you know, spread out through the list. I like this list. I think this is a pretty solid one. I'm sure there's some in there that people have been like, why isn't that in there? But oh well.
You know, I
Can't
played
please everyone.
I played the Theater Rhythm arcade machine recently. That was
Ooh,
cool.
how was that?
That's fun.
Very cool. I think there was like a tracking ball or something like that you move around with. It was a little while ago that I played it now, but that was pretty nice.
Yeah, there's two modes. There's like kind of a standard mode where it's like buttons and you're hitting on them, but then there's like a tracking ball mode where like you
Yeah.
actually have to move it up and down along a path when the song is playing.
That's it. Yeah.
So it's great. I have the one on I think it's like the PS4 or something like that, Theater Rhythm, and that game is a ton of fun.
Oh,
Lots
so
of
many
music on that.
songs.
So many Final Fantasy 14 songs. Like
Yes.
I wish I was into that series because there's a huge section on
The
that.
funny thing is they're still missing a ton. Like there's
God.
2 expansions worth at the time when that released that they could have still put it in, but at development time they weren't able to do it. So you're missing a lot of the really good Shadowbringers and Endwalker stuff.
Oh
So,
man, I can't even imagine.
oh goodness. But yeah, that is our top 10 2000s to present arcade games of all time. But of course, we should go ahead and highlight the games that made the top 50 just to get an idea, give it some, because I do like to highlight what's available on these systems that maybe certain games catch your interest, or you heard about it. I was like, oh, maybe a lot of people like this one. Maybe I should check it out. So let's go ahead down this list. And at number 11, just missing out the top 10 by 3 points, Mario Kart Arcade GP, the original.
There it is.
Yeah.
So I was actually really worried that 2 Mario Karts would make it on here. I was like, please don't do that. I want to have variety. let's not do that. So I was very happy when Monkey Ball just barely took it over. At number 12, a tie right off the bat. Again, super close. 92 points compared to Monkey Ball's 97 points. A tie between the House of the Dead 4 and Soul Calibur 2.
Oh.
Okay. I did think Soul Calibur 2 might be up on there. Interesting though, because like I feel like most people played the console ports, but
yeah.
I mean, and I'm surprised House of the Dead 4 is ahead of 3 as well.
Yeah, I don't know much of the differences between 3 and 4, but yeah, 4 is up there. 14, Ikaruga.
Oh.
Which I didn't even realize had an arcade release until this.
I don't think I did either. Never seen it in the arcade before, but wonderful game.
Yeah. 15, Guitar Hero Arcade. It's actually also a tie. It tied with Project Justice.
Oh, yes. Cool. I'm so glad to see that here. I actually... All right, here we go. I have it right here.
Oh, amazing.
It never came up.
That's awesome.
That's incredible. Guitar Hero Arcade's interesting because it's very much a console phenomenon. I saw the arcade machine a lot. Oftentimes the songs like lacked lyrics or something, so it was never like as cool as it could be. But you know, it was a huge part of culture. Guitar Hero.
For sure. I played so much 3 when I was younger, on the Wii version specifically.
Yeah. I saw the arcade version once and I'm like, why did I play it here when I have it at home? Like that was my thought when I saw it at the arcade.
Yeah, and the ones at the arcade were all banged up because some kid was just slamming on it.
Yeah.
So it's not the same.
Yeah. Would have been cool to see Project Justice make the top 10, but at least it got the top 15.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not shocked that it didn't make the top 10, but yeah, that game also on the Capcom Fighting Game Collection too, just an excellent game, and the aesthetics and the vibe are their peak for me. That's definitely up there in one of my top fighting games.
That's another game I'm really looking forward to trying when I get the second Capcom Fighting Collection.
For sure, try it out.
I wonder if it would have done better at the time if it was named Rival Schools 2.
Hard to say.
Yeah. Then we have another tie. There's a lot of ties to the arcade games, but tied at number 17, Mario Kart Arcade GP 2 and Tekken 5.
Okay, there's Tekken 5. So not too far behind.
No, made the top 20 at the very least. At 19, here's House of the Dead 3, John.
Okay.
And
not too far behind.
At number 20, Virtua Fighter 5.
Oh.
Okay.
Glad to see it getting a little bit of representation. Virtua Fighter always struggles for recognition in the States, so nice to see it gets a little bit. At 21, Cruisin' Blast.
This is a cool one.
What if a lot of people were just based off the console version of that?
Well, my local bowling alley has a Cruisin' Blast machine. And they've had it since before the Switch port. So
nice.
Yeah, I can verify this exists.
Unlike F-Zero, I can't verify that.
Who knows?
At 22, Gauntlet Dark Legacy.
Ah, okay.
Just a classic multiplayer one. 23, King of Fighters 2002.
Okay.
Back again.
At 24, Luigi's Mansion Arcade.
I want to play this, but I can't find anywhere that has one.
I've not seen it, which is so unfortunate. At 25, Pac-Man Battle Royale.
I'm trying to remember which one this is.
There's so many Pac-Man games.
Yeah.
So many. I don't know. I looked it up at one point, but I don't remember.
Because there are Pac-Man Battle Royale games. I'm pretty sure Pac-Man Battle Royale is not a Pac-Man Battle Royale. I think this is like a 4-player game or something. I want to say.
Sounds like it would be for the name Battle Royale.
Is it one of those? Is it like a table that you look down on? Is that right?
Up to 4 players can compete at once. It is looking down at a table, choosing a game length between 3 and 9 rounds. Each player controls a differently colored Pac-Man, and a single player faces one computer-controlled Pac-Man opponent. Oh, so some of you are the ghost, and then the other one is the Pac-Man. Players move through the maze, avoiding the ghost, and attempting to eat the dots and pellets scattered around.
It's Pac-Man versus.
It's a bonus item that appears next to the ghost cage. All remaining dots and pellets are immediately removed and replaced. So
I played this one. This is a cool one.
It's a neat idea. It definitely makes sense.
I think I might have played this one too, but like on a console. If there is a console version, I might be thinking of something else. I think I played this in a tournament in MagFest.
Apparently,
Press Play to Jason says he played it in Namco Museum, also Pac-Man Museum on the Switch. So it is on console.
Okay. It's not listed on consoles on here, but maybe it's because it's part of a collection, so it never got an individual release. Either way, where did I leave off here? 26, Metal Slug 3. So it's interesting that 2002 placed higher than Metal Slug 3 on this list.
Yeah,
flipped. Yeah, that is
on the Neo Geo list. Tied at 27, Guilty Gear Xrd and all of its revisions, and Capcom versus SNK Millennium Fight 2000.
Okay, I'm glad that CVS 1 is getting some representation in some way. It's cool to see.
There's definitely seems to be more love, a little bit more love to CVS 2, though I have heard people say they do prefer 1 a little bit more.
I mean, that's my preference, but I'm not playing competitively, so
yeah, that'll do it. At 29, Afterburner Climax.
Very cool one.
At 30, Tekken 7.
Okay.
31, The King of Fighters 2000. And then we have a 3-way tie for 32 between Time Crisis 4, Dodonpachi Daiojo, and Pokken Tournament.
Oh, cool. I love the Dodonpachi games are super cool. Never seen the arcade machine, but played the 360 Dodonpachi. Pokken's also one I've never seen in the wild. I'm sure that's a cool machine as well.
I have seen it actually at MagFest. They have like a specific, I don't know, it's kind of hard to describe. They have like a specific Pokken controller that you can use. And this is random, but it's funny because one of the stages from Tekken 5 actually became a Pokken stage.
That's right.
Yeah.
Pokken's really cool.
The Dragon Nest stage.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'd love a second chance at Pokken. I thought that series was just like really neat.
It's fun. I wish they did another game like that. Like I legitimately think it's a very good game.
Yeah, I think it has the chance to really take off at the second one. Now they have refinements and whatnot, because what I played I really enjoyed. Brace and main. At 35, The King of Fighters 11.
Okay. Popular one.
At 36, The King of Fighters 13.
Okay.
37, I had no idea this had an arcade release, to be honest. Soul Calibur 3.
No, never seen it in the arcade.
I associate that completely with the PlayStation 2 because I know that was an exclusive.
Yeah, I played it on my Vulix, but I'm pretty sure that was emulated. So
potentially. At 38, Guilty Gear X2.
Okay.
At 39, Guilty Gear Strive.
Yeah.
Let's see. 40, Ghost Squad.
Ghost Squad's cool.
At 41, Melty Blood Actress Again.
Oh, surprised to see Melty Blood on here, honestly.
Yeah. At 42, our highest ranked DDR game, Dance Dance Revolution 2014 edition.
Man.
It just happened to be the one that got the most votes.
Not even close. Not even close.
It's kind of crazy. Yeah.
Yep. At 43, Jurassic Park Arcade. Fun, just light gun game. At 44, oh, forgive me on this one. Mushi Hime Sama Futari. I think it's another cave shooter like Dodonpachi. At 45, tied at 45, excuse me, Dinosaur King and H2 Overdrive. Tied at 47, 3-way tie between Virtua Fighter 4, Hatsune Miku Project Diva Arcade, and Tetris the Grandmaster 3 Terror Instinct.
Oh, I did kind of expect Tetris the Grandmaster and Miku to be higher. Miku's in a lot of arcades these days.
Yeah, I see it a lot, and like there's the mobile version as well that's
Hmm.
super popular. So I'm also a little surprised it's not higher.
Yeah. What a thought, but oh well. And then uh, even though there's like only one more spot for 50 after that three-way tie at 47, we have a three-way tie at 50 between Hatsune Miku, Project Diva Arcade, Future Tone, Dance Dance Revolution A20, and Killer Queen.
So there was no Rhythm Tengoku, which is kind of surprising for our
No,
audience.
it did not make it. Rhythm Tengoku. So for comparison, those three games at 50 got 25 points. Rhythm Tengoku got 17 points.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
So
that
it
is kind of
was
shocking.
Wasn't too bad.
theoretically close, but if you go down the numbers, it's like about 70. It's in the top 75.
I think I'd believe that more people have played Rhythm Tengoku than they've played F-Zero AX.
I don't know about that one, to say the least. Oh, goodness. But yeah, there is our top 50 2000s-Present arcade games. Quite the mix in there. I think we threw Kyle in for a loop of quite a few times with the placement of some of these.
For sure. There were so many of these. I was just like, I don't think I've heard of these, or like completely wrong order, or I think overall I did okay. I hope I did okay enough for people not to get mad at me.
No, I think you did great. So yeah, thank you for watching both of these. We got it like sort of a double stuffed episode here. And next time when we come back, we'll be talking about the top 10 2000s in 2000s era, so 2000 to 2009 indie games, which I've been in the process of tallying those. Oh God, defining indie is hell. It's been one of the worst to tally so far.
I completely understand that, because I'm actually working on a video where I compile a little too ambitious. Every single guest character and every single fighting game I can find. There are so many.
Just ever?
Games.
Oh,
I'm trying.
That's a lot.
I'm trying, but
that's gonna be like a 3-hour video.
Yeah, it is. So like I said, overly ambitious, but I understand your pain. There's so many. Like I'm just gonna
as somebody who's done the SMT retrospective, I appreciate the hustle, because I stand for these long, way too complicated videos, but damn it, they're fun to watch in the end.
They are. And they're fun to research, except when they're not fun, which is a lot.
Well, the research is fun. It's putting it together and editing it. That's the part that sucks.
Yes, and getting all the footage for sure.
Oh, goodness. But yeah, so look forward to the 2000s indie list next week. Otherwise, though, that is it for us. Kylan, Baberuthless, can you tell everyone where they can find you at?
Yeah, sure. So I am at YouTube, same name, Baberuthless. And my videos mostly focus on me talking about fighting games, but everything except the actual gameplay. So I talk about things like the history of fighting game American comic books, and the history of like fighting game collector's editions, and about the stages and aesthetic as well. I also have a Bluesky and Twitter, but I'm just yammering about nonsense there. So, mostly follow me on YouTube, where I'm talking about scripted nonsense. But yeah, thank you guys so much for having me on. This was so much fun.
I was glad to have you on. I definitely enjoyed your videos once I found them. I find that the way you look into the stages to be a lot of fun. Enjoyed the comics episode. Just you have a lot of good stuff in there that's well worth checking out. So I hope everybody does give it a look-see. But yeah, loved having you on. And yeah, thank you all for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please consider subscribing to GVG, hitting the like button, and ringing that bell. We also have a Patreon at patreon.com/GVGaming with plenty of extra perks. So until next time, bye.